very comfortable with the gyro onto Skiter. He won 3 games in a row in the previous grand finals he played on this hero. So he's warmed up. But I think
one way to look at it.
I think the lineup that BetBoom have against Falcons is actually, I would say, clearly favored if the Doom doesn't have a good game. I think Amar is going to be very important for Falcons here. I think you need to Doom the Timbersaw over the Sven in most, if not all, fights. This is a mid-Timber, so a big part of the reason they picked the Gyro against this hero is that they've had success with it as an offlaner, or rather they've had success with Gyro as a counter to the offlane Timber, but BetBoom immediately identified that this is what's going on. They banned 2 of the counters in mid, and they just commit to putting GPK there with the Huskar as well as Monkey King out of the picture. So I think BetBoom did a pretty solid job here in the draft. Let's see if they've got the place to go with it this time.
I have a quick question. Do you think there's any heroes that are getting banned or first picked because now they're kind of flip-flopping between the two, that are actually just overrated? Do you think that there's any heroes that at the beginning of the tournaments have been rated so highly and we just haven't seen that many games from them?
Okay, I'm not sure exactly what you... I feel like you asked 2 different questions.
All right, yeah, answer both.
Now I forgot both of them.
All right,
try again.
I don't know if it's just you and me casting, but the Timbersaws have looked kind of underwhelming, Cinderin. And this is first pick or first ban.
Nice.
All questions are loaded.
Is it possible that you hate the Timbersaw this game because it's played by BetBoom, who you think will get stomped?
No, absolutely not. I am as unbiased as they come.
That sounded...
No, of course not.
Absolutely not.
No, why would you think that I'm biased at all?
I personally don't think Timbersaw is overrated. I actually think this might be I think Mars was in a way overrated.
Okay,
actually.
There you go. That's an answer.
And I mean, we're getting to this stage of the tournament now where it's also not being given as much attention nearly as it was a couple days ago. But I think largely it's because teams have come around to what the solutions are. And then Mars has just got... His games have just been too good, I think, for what he deserved. Whereas the Timbersaw games, I think, have been a little bit more polarizing, I guess, is the one way to put it. But by putting it mid, BetBoom, they did it. They ran it against Extreme with great success earlier. They're going to try to replicate that performance, and he's off to a great start against Malrine so far. 14 for 2 against 7-0 in that mid lane.
Yep, the classic Timber versus melee matchup, the dream generally. But we'll see if Malrine is able to come back at all because, I mean, like the panel we're talking about, he should be able to farm and eventually he'll be okay. But GPK definitely off to a very good start. And on the other side, we see, well, the Elder Titan becoming more and more popular as this tournament progresses. This is a TI type hero, if you will.
Yeah.
It's the AoE control. And in combination with, like, the Torrent Storm, for example, being able to set things up could be pretty powerful in these team fights. But back to the Gyro.
Yep.
Your thoughts on this hero? Because in this tournament, you talked about it, he picked it 3 times in a row in the last finals, but we haven't seen that much this tournament.
I mean, we've barely...
Wasn't changed.
I feel like we've barely seen it in Group Stage 2. I think it was mainly a Group Stage 1 hero. Yeah, I don't know. That one's puzzling to me as well, to be honest. Like, sure, I get the counterpick against Timber, but then they didn't ban Sven. I think, in theory, should be one of the better heroes at going toe-to-toe with Gyro. But it's, that one is a bit surprising for me. I don't really know what I think about it. I also don't know if they picked it as a flex, to be fair, right? This hero can absolutely be played as a support by both Crit as well as Snaking in particular. But they do commit it onto the carry position this game.
Yep, and his build is, from what I remember, it's Crystallis into Ags, pretty much.
With the value of Falcon Blade to go, right?
Yeah.
So Falcon Blade treads and then Crystallis Ags. Probably what he's going to go here as well. Save, taking some serious damage, will jump away.
It's funny that they first picked Techies last game.
Oh, is he getting him here? Oh, okay, it sticks. That was a nice play, though.
They first picked Techies, and he just gets it second phase this time. It's like, they're trying to, like, create these, like, ban scenarios. Like, okay, now you got to force the ban surely on Techies, but Falcons don't care, apparently. Still give it up. Yeah,
and then they give the Techies away, and I'm like, okay, surely now they're going to pick Shadow Demon, right?
Yeah,
like, this has been a great pick for them against Techies. Nope. Let's go Ruben. Against Chakram, I guess? I I mean, there are some good Rubik's deals in this game, but this one also is a little bit of an... I would love to pick their brains about what the mindset is behind this pick as well. Like, Chakram is a good steal. Torrent Storm is obviously insane if you can get it, but it's a big if.
Yep, and for his save, he has to get a shard first, unlike Shadow Demon. So yeah, we'll see how it works out this time. I'm excited to see some... I mean, we have seen Rubik as even an off lane in this tournament.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah,
Crit's gonna go Dagon.
You never know. Homie missile coming for Miero.
Nice Torrent.
Torrent will connect though. Snake King still applying the pressure as he had another blast, but wouldn't be enough to finish the job.
There's 5 mana short from Frostbite. I think they might have actually tried to go for that kill with a bite, then Skiter could have connected.
Structures are fortified.
Snake King going for double boots, it looks like. Better not misclick that as Malrine will be forced to TP back to base. Let's see how many creeps he ends up missing here.
Not too many.
That's a good time to go.
The wave first. And GPK still running the show mid.
6-minute power rune is coming up as well, so.
Nice creep Amar.
Well, bottom lane though, that's first blood for Skeeter. It's always been as the blast off actually hits, but save will likely fall. Pops the fairy fire, sticky bomb onto Skeeter is there, but is not enough for the kill. But he is really low. He'll eat one more tango and get the Lotus as well as GPK getting gone on a bit by Malrine. It's a 6-minute rune. It spawns some nice damage onto the Timbersaw, but
I think very important for the outcome, the future outcome of this top lane is the creep Amar found. He's got the ice armor from the Ogre, and this means that the Sven and the the Sven and the Elder Titan will struggle to stick on him and do the damage. And in turn, it frees up crit a lot more on the Rubik. Amar will definitely be able to hold his own. He's got 15 armor and that slow. So effectively, he's just going to be bullying the Sven relentlessly. And if ET tries to help, I mean, what are they going to do to him? It's not like they can kill him. So this was the dream creep Amar found for this situation. And for Wisdoms, looks to be a 1-for-1 split. Save as well as crit. Crit will stack the Ancients for the Gyro for later. This feels like this is the archetype game that's just going to be a lot about stacks. When one side has Sven and the other has Gyro, can either team make the invasive maneuver? Can they steal the stacks? Can they kill them when they're farming them? Or are both teams just going to be able to take them?
Yeah.
Will be a big deal. I guess if you're looking at it from a theoretical standpoint, which team is better at defending their Ancients, I think it's pretty even. On one side you have the ET, and on the other you have the Pango, who's amazing for fighting in that area. Gyro himself also offers a lot more in the way of defense than the Sven does. If his sec gets invaded, you'll have the call down to help with zone control. Nice
crit, gets bursted. There. GPK, nice combo. Rolling Thunder not actually going to come through from Malrine, just faking it out.
Nice and easy.
Bottom lane, X.
Big damage.
Skeeter back to the other side. Arrow getting gone on the GPK makes an appearance. Rocket Barrage is ripping through him though. Has to use his call down to try to get away, but GPK will likely have enough damage, and indeed he does. Ends up being the 1-for-1. And that's one of the reasons that the Gyrocopter is a hero that they like, as the Echo Stomp comes from Toronto Tokyo into the TP.
Nice play.
Is fine.
It's very close.
But Gyro just being such a good laner. This is one of the few carries in this meta that can just get kills straight up in these lanes. Rocket Barrage is something to fear for sure. Especially when you're coupled up with the likes of a Crystal Maiden that can apply a bunch of pressure and also give you mana.
Yep. It's a very, very strong duel. It's what feels a bit like what Maiden Jugger used to be, back when Jugger was a thing.
Yeah. Sad days for him. F's in the chat for Jugs.
Yep. Back when it was a lot of melee offlaners, but Jugger's Blade Fury was way better, especially on level 2. Maiden Jug was a classic, but we have not seen that. It feels like for years by now, actually. A long time since Jug was a big deal. Mango going to TP bottom with the haste here. Malrine has big plans to connect with Skitter, as well as Snake King, and they will definitely kill Miero here.
Coming for him. Yeah, that is an easy cleanup. Skeeter gets credit. He's having quite the game so far. Malrine's still working on that diffusal. You can see his net worth. He's about 800 behind GPK on the Timber. So, see how much pressure GPK can apply.
Still the lead in general is Falcons, with especially the Doom discrepancy over the offlane Kunkka. That has really... Bedroom specifically avoided the Timbersaw matchup, but then they picked Kunkka, who is also not going to enjoy this lane very much.
Save. Take a Rolling Thunder, Shield Crash to follow, but yeah, it comes out early, thinking he can finish the job, but that's not to be. Swing arrow.
Okay.
X Torrent, but not going to be any follow-up. He's definitely playing very passive right now.
Despite that kill not happening from Alreen, he's completely zoning the enemy team off the tower.
First Doom of the game is applied to Toronto Tokyo. Trying to walk it off. Nightfall forces Amar away. Skiter jungling in the enemy triangle.
So I don't know if they stacked that themselves or if that was a little bit of a steal, but this is obviously what we were talking about. The game largely could be decided part in this specific area with the stacks, and you're seeing both teams put a lot of emphasis on it with their respective position 4/5. Interesting that Toronto Tokyo has this many stacks. The crit ones make a lot of sense because he's playing top lane, so he'll generally be around the triangle, which is what you want to stack for the gyro. But the ET doesn't have access to the triangle as easily. Crit will...
That is a tasty
I believe this
treat.
is 2 quadruples here.
That is nice.
It's a quadruple ancient, right? Amar in trouble.
Yeah, TP from GPK. Burst!
Nice and easy.
Amar is dead. So Betboom able to find a couple of nice kills here in the laning stage, but like you said, the net worth still leaning in Falcon's favor. Still very early on to, oh, that's a
nice
great
steal. Yeah.
Gracious.
So I'm not sure if that was a triple or quadruple, but the relative net worth exchange there when you kill this stack and the enemy team doesn't get it is probably close to like 600.
GPK blinked. That's an early blink for him. Homing missile will hit him eventually, but he is way too far away, so smoke gank unsuccessful for Falcons.
Radiant are
Look at
scared.
that animation. It's good stuff. And then, of course, the dinky dink sound. Always a classic. But that provides some space for the tier 1 tower, so Falcons won't go empty-handed at the very least from their perspective.
Do you actually, okay, about the homing missile sound, do you think that started out as a joke?
Yes,
beta,
probably.
and then they kept it?
Probably.
Because, like, it's a missile. You would think that it's going to have some sort of explosive sound when it connects, right?
Yeah.
And then they're probably like, oh, we just need some sort of placeholder sound. Wouldn't it be funny if it just sounded like a little pellet that hit a frying pan?
Yeah.
And then they thought, oh, that's actually really funny. Let's keep that.
And nobody complained. Everyone loved it.
Oh, there it is.
The other steal coming.
Ah, yes, the
making
expected steal from Crystal
Raising
Maiden and
field.
Rubik.
Torrent cancels it, but got a lot of work out of it.
That is so big for Falcons.
Yeah.
Especially, they didn't even need to commit cores for it. Well, okay, here we go the other way.
This is...
Does anybody want to farm their own stacks? Hello?
What in the world? Amar, he's going to be wise to this, but they've already stolen basically everything. There's the Doom onto GPK.
Oh, it's gonna
Already
cost
coming
them.
with a huge swashbuckle. Gets the shield crash as well. The Rolling Thunder is coming as GPK will be hounded and eventually taken out. And they'll get Toronto Tokyo to boot. So a little bit of punish, but Betboom still, that is a massive ancient stack that they stole.
It still feels like an overall Falcons win in total, right? They invaded and they stole Ancients too with their supports. It was a smaller stack, but they get the Timbersaw as well as the ET kill. And
The
they
only
get to push
person,
out these waves.
only person crying right now is
Me and the
Peter
club.
on the gyro.
Oh.
He didn't get to farm any of it.
That's true. He's still top net worth though.
Yeah, he's
by
he's
4
on.
gold. Oh no, now he's number 2. And okay, now he's crying.
Very good. Keep us up to date on the net worth discrepancy.
He's behind. He's ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Skiter, top net worth.
Radiant's bottom tower
Has the
is under
Chrysalis
attack.
and Point Booster halfway to his Ags
Skiter
already.
second on net worth.
Okay, can stop that now. The bit's over.
Radiant's
Appreciate it though.
bottom tower
Good
is under
effort.
attack.
All right. You can see both position ones farming away. And as you did mention, Skeeter's now number 2 in net worth.
Yeah. Trying to take the lead here, but he's still second.
There agree. Once he gets that Ags, though, I think he'll be first, Cinderin.
Yeah.
That thing really,
That's fair. Or
really
maybe
helps
this
the
crit
network.
wave that he's close to could be the difference maker here in bottom lane, but he's scared.
Why were we put on grand final? Mistakes were made all around.
No, it's perfect. These games are very farm heavy, so we get to shoot the shit a lot, you know.
That's true. That is accurate. Nothing's actually happening other than farm.
Oh, well, here comes Hero. Welcome to hell.
The boat does cancel the freezing field, but that is a lot of magic damage from Skiter and company.
And Skiter takes first place with that kill. He's back, baby.
That's right.
And he's staying on top this time. Mark my words.
Okay.
Not going to relinquish this lead.
Yeah, that cleave's not going to help Nightfall get back into the lead.
All right, so all jokes aside, it's a very healthy sign for Gyro that he's keeping up with Sven. It feels like in this tournament, Sven has not been... No hero has been able to keep up with this guy if he's free farming. You see the 181 CS on Nightfall to the 130 of Skiter. It's just the kills. Like, he got so many early kills in this lane. The 4 that he's gotten out to his name have really made a big difference. He's gonna go through the gate and try to take some of the top half of the map away as well from the side of Betboom.
You know what, Hero feels like it's dropped off a bit, even though I think it's really effective against the Timbersaw. In fact, it was picked against Timbersaw many a time early in the tournament, and the tournament before is the Luna.
Yeah.
And we're not seeing it nearly as often.
I think Falcons are very hesitant to pick Luna because they've run into... I mean, they had the Lifestealer game yesterday, but they could have banned that because they closed the first phase anyway. But you're right. In a way, you could have maybe picked Luna instead of Gyro, but it doesn't have the flex. And I guess it's also a little bit more... I'd say it's a little bit more dependent on your other heroes and your strategy. I think when you run Gyro, if you just have a good, a good stable lane support, you're going to work with most stuff that Falcons want to run. Yeah, Luna may be a little bit more specific, just seeing more information in the game, and also especially what the enemy team is running. Gyro can work around most stuff. There's the Doom onto Timber.
Absolutely, GPK is dead. Malrine not going to go for another kill because they find save in the jungle. The freezing fields have been really good this game. This is the third one already. The call down actually will not hit, but save still cleaned up by Malrine. And now the lead has grown to 5K as Nightfall looks like he might want to fight despite being down 2 members right now. Thinks better of it. Finally counts 1 to 5. Is he going to pop his ult to farm this one ancient stack? Not even a stack. Amar will continue with the Shivas, as Toronto Tokyo is the one that will tank most of the damage. So God Strength used, and then gonna try to get this other ancient.
I feel like these 2 Doom picks that Falcons have done in this grand final so far has just been flat out game winning, both of them. Like this one, he's ruining the Timbersaw's game, who had such a good start. GPK is now down to 5th on net worth. And with the lanes that he's getting on Amar, he's just getting this fast Shiva, and I think one of the things that sets Falcons apart the most from other teams in this tournament is how good they are at obtaining vision through heroes. Like, Amar just walks in.
Save.
Trusts his teammates, doesn't give a crap.
And he's tanking a lot. GPK on the sideline. See Amar not willing to go too deep there.
But that's what you can do when you have a farmed Doom like this in this game, is you can just frontline. You just walk in with your Shivas popped, you get all the vision. If the enemy team turns on you, your teammates get to have a free fight with the Pango and Gyro.
He's going to get ganked here this time.
He's alone.
He is completely... All the mines placed for him to say, look how tanky he is, though. Eventually, they do find the kill. Betboom getting something finally. Looks like this game was slipping away.
It's still not looking great. We don't have the best track record for Sven being down 5K minute 18. This is a win more hero. You want to be ahead, and then you just keep building and building and building. And in comparison to the Sven from Falcons last game, where they were in a much better position than this.
Yeah, we got the boat. It's coming, and the blast off is there.
It's not enough yet.
To follow. Crit eventually taken out by the Chakram. They have a lot of long-range poke for sure on Betboom's side.
They got there eventually. Falcons not responding with their Doom dead. They weren't really interested in trying to take this fight, and Betboom get a little extra. So trying to keep the ball rolling off this momentum. Now Doom is ready again. So what'll it be? Mar and snaking. This is a very unexpected move for him. He has no idea.
Oh boy, the Scorched Earth. He feels it. He gets doomed. Freezing field to follow. Oh boy.
And they can just leave him to
Yeah, absolutely. Knowing that it is not, you cannot deny. What do you think about that, by the way? You can't deny anymore. And now you can with Poison Touch. That was the trade-off.
Yeah.
You can only have 3 in the game, I guess.
Your atrocity made.
I don't know. I like denies. I miss
Dire's
denying
bottom
myself on
tower is
punch.
under attack.
I tell you.
I miss denying myself on Centaur. That's really old school.
Oh yeah, that's true. You actually used to
I
do
love
that. Is so long ago.
Yeah,
but that was a bit of a double-edged sword though, because sometimes you didn't want to.
That's the whole point. It's a double edge. That should hurt.
That's fair. I think it was largely considered a buff to the hero that you didn't kill yourself with double edge, because a lot of the time in fights you would, finish off the enemy hero. And then
GPK, they find Crit in their jungle. He is eventually going to get taken out.
Malrine with a response.
Yes, Rolling Thunder activated. Amar coming in with the Shivas. Does not have Doom yet, as the boat is coming for him. And Malrine getting some nice connections. The swatch is enough to finish off save. Hornstorm is there as Nightfall focusing all his efforts onto Amar. And they should have the damage to rip through him. Indeed, they do. Now Skiter, they know Timber Chain, but they have the X. He doesn't have BKB this time. He'll have to try to fight his way out of this 1v4. It is not to be, as Betboom getting some valuable kills.
That is so huge for them.
Step lively now.
Swinging back in a big way, we've now got GPK at the top of the charts. Sven is also going to overtake Gyro, so now the power dynamic is going to change quite significantly. You're also starting to... Miero, who's had a terrible game, is actually going places now. Has that Torrent Storm up and running, starting to work on the BKB. Still way behind every other core in the game, but definitely is recoverable at this rate. And I wonder what Falcon's adjustment is going to be. I feel like they're going to chill until they get the next 2 BKBs. I think they just want to farm, get Gyro his BKB, get Doom his, and then look for the next move. Because if there's one thing Betboom's lineup doesn't deal with very well, it's BKB. They actually have a terrible lineup against it, in my opinion. The only thing you have is Sven hitting, but he can't stick on his targets if they're just BKB. They're just going to be able to kite him. And they can, effectively, when they get the BKBs, they can choose to just Doom Sven over Timber. And use the BKB duration to ignore Timber and then clean house after. Falcons now go for Roche, no God Strength. Betboom on the opposite side of the map will not make it here in time.
And Betboom, did they get every Roche last game, or was it?
Yeah.
Did they get every single one?
I believe so, yeah.
Falcons, like we talked about, usually the ones are the ones to take Roche. The Aegis advantage throughout the majority of these games that they've played in the last couple tournaments. As Light Collector, Cinderant.
Oh, Light Collector for Doom?
Middle tower is under attack.
Amar is actually very lucky with the Light Collectors. Gets it every game, it seems. And he's going to work on his BKB, like you said. Gyro, a recipe away for his BKB. Of course, Pango doesn't need one. The ult, but is halfway to his Ags for Malrine.
3 Whispers of the Dread.
Oh, okay. I mean, Timbersaw, very good on him.
Yeah.
Dire's
Techies too.
top
It's a lot
tower
of
is
damage.
under attack.
But
And
no,
Elder Titan.
Night Vision suffers.
Elder Titan got the Gossamer Cape, which the evasion here is not particularly interesting, but he didn't get Light Collector offered clearly, so he will take the other move speed item
Yeah,
on that hero.
It's good.
Unfortunate, sometimes you just low roll.
It happens.
Farming time. Inside of Falcons, looks like at least. They're grouping there as well. Alright, is this a smoke and stuff?
I think they will.
They kind of seem a bit indecisive about whether they can kill it or not. Snaking's pinging it.
They're gonna try.
They will go now.
See if Crit and Snaking can survive this encounter. Crit
This is...
back away. Meanwhile, Malrine gets caught off guard and brought down. Snaking, you gotta run. And Skeeter finishes himself.
Oh, that was the reason they were hesitating. That was really close, actually.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is a slam dunk, easy take for Betboom with 5 heroes, of course. They will get the shard onto their techies. Falcons got
Crystal Clone.
Yeah, nice. That's a good way to say it.
It's funny when they add these shards, a lot of times they're just so bad. And then
Radiant's bottom tower
patch after patch is a
under attack.
little buff here, little buff there. Like
Yeah.
after 3 in a row, they're not a
Radiant's
meme
bottom
anymore.
tower has fallen.
Crystal Clone quite good. Even Glacier. I mean, the Ice Spell's getting lots of buffs lately. Of course, we're not seeing Drow. Has nothing to do with Glacier, though. S tier, of course.
And then you have the opposite case where some items get added in a version and the players are just slow to pick up on it. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
the Light Collector
Here we
has...
go again.
Yeah.
Can you go 1 minute without talking about Light Collector?
I'll try.
Please.
Right, what is it now? 24-21.
Okay.
collector on Doom. Get to see it
there
there.
you go.
All right,
Perfect.
shit. 24-27. I was going to elaborate, but no, I'm not.
Yeah, I was going to say you were talking and then you just stopped suddenly, much to everyone's joy. Skiter and company are smoked now. Only with this
God, it's
DK
only
lead.
been 20 seconds. I'm getting withdrawal symptoms. See, I can't even speak. It's symptoms.
Yeah, just having a stroke. That's perfectly normal for a grand finals. This is Toronto, Tokyo. And Save gonna attempt to defend is this Astral Spirit. If it ends up hitting anyone. Not yet. Oh,
Radiant
okay.
structures are
He
fortified.
did hit Snaking, so I think that will indicate that the rest of Falcons are shadowing Skiter. 2 minutes on the Aegis.
Yeah, they want to put it to use here, of course, so
Structures are fortified.
we'll go here. The whole team is covering him, including Doom with the light collector. Feeling very strong here.
Something tells me that thing's gonna get so nerfed that you'll never have to say it again.
I don't know about that, but it's definitely getting nerfed. Lacoste actually had a very good idea for a nerf, which was that it kind of breaks like Tranquil Boots. So if you take damage, the effects are halved, for example, for 3 seconds. So that means you don't get the full efficiency. If you're like jungling, you lose some of the regen, and if you're fighting, you lose the regen as well as the move speed.
I like my idea
An
better.
interesting idea. What was your idea
The
again?
move speed is at night. The regen is in the day. Both regens.
And then you keep the values the same?
You might need to tweak them a bit, but yeah, similar.
Dyer's top tower is under
Yep.
attack.
You'll see.
Unsurprisingly, the Lacoste idea is clearly better.
You'll see. Tier 2 tower will be Skeeters, so no defense mounted from Betboom again.
Nope. They're just waiting out this Aegis. It is a really big advantage. This Gyro is a very good Aegis carrier.
Dyer's top tower
Much, much
is
better than
falling.
Sven.
Yeah,
They recognize that this power level of the Falcons lineup is not something they want to mess with. They will give up a little bit of ground to avoid a disastrous
Dyer's
fight.
top tower is under attack.
Now, with it expiring soon, do Betboom have a clear call to go, is the question. Timber has this 8-second BKB still. The Sven has 9. Obviously still susceptible to getting doomed, but there's the Kunkka BKB as well. This does feel like a pretty good time for Betboom to try to strike. Aegis out in 20. And they do seem to be congregating around that mid lane to maybe go for a smoke, but ET a little bit far behind, and he's actually the one carrying the smoke. Oh, Techies has one too, so they could have, but they would definitely want to do this as 5. Skitter's Aegis will now fade. Still farming the stacks.
They get all but one tier 2 tower during this Aegis.
Yeah, it's quite good.
Getting a nice juicy stack. The Satanic will be next. And then I would assume the Daedalus to follow.
Oh, this is a big find, by the way. The Defiant Shell on Sven. God tier item on this hero. Get that extra swing if anybody attacks you. Major damage increase, especially in the man fights that could be coming up against the Gyro.
Yeah, I mean, Gyro can't even control whether he's auto-attacking because of the Ags. So
True. That's a good
very
point.
value.
He'll be activating it all the time. Ogre Steel Totem for Amar, also noteworthy.
Are scanning.
Snaking. Nope, he pops the smoke. 4 stacks to safety. Amar looking for an opening. Blinks into the frame, but he gets stunned instantly by Nightfall. Pops that BKB. Trying to go to work on someone. Skeeter's taking some good damage. Pops the BKB of his own. Now tries to run away. Thinking about going back in.
Oh, is that stolen
As
X?
Betboom on the high ground.
I really thought they were going to go for the Blink Doom there, but probably feel like Betboom has too much of a
Wow.
superior positioning.
Not often do you see all 10 heroes basically colliding there and 0 die.
Yeah.
And now that the Ags is online for Malorine, his damage output will be huge.
Some really good restraint there from Falcons to not go for that when they get the X mark.
Are scanning.
Amar could have definitely Blink Doomed the Timber, but I kind of agree. This would have ended really poorly. Timber is likely to get up to the high ground there, and you could be running into mines, you're running into ET in like this very
Yeah, I have to say,
spot.
he's
It's
been
tough.
very, in these 2 games, he's been very patient with the Doom.
waiting for the right opportunity.
I feel like the Doom in a lot of the games earlier in the tournament have been a bit underwhelming after the nerfs, and it's not the case on the Falcon side at least. Of course, this is one of the big reasons that Techies is being picked by Betboom consistently. Not only is Save just God tier, but the hero itself has so much control over the map. Even when you're behind just in these little crevices, get some vision, some idea that the enemies are there. So we might have a collision now. Miero looking for the opening, will get glimmered. Oh, sticky bomb onto Mallory. He's going to roll up though. Amar gets off the Shivas. Looks like he's trying to run away as Mallory buys some space. As the X, is that going to last long enough? Looks like Amar gets away with the BKB TP, and Malrine also disengages.
Completely clean exit there. They have the gyro bottom, so they were not interested in taking this fight. Falcons, and they won't have to. Gating down, yeah, Skiter is already out. It's just really, really clean map movements from Falcons. They're doing such a good job.
This is the one team that you look at and like, do they have vision? Like, do they have the same vision as us somehow? It's ridiculous.
Very, very aware.
Mar opting to go for the Octarine on the Doom. And Nightfall, the Daedalus, almost there.
7K lead. You can't, I mean, you can ascribe some of it to Devour, but Falcons are just more efficient. They're getting more out of the map, and I think it's interesting to see how, when you think back on the entire tournament, this was one of the big ups that BetBoom have over a lot of other teams, was their efficiency and their movements on the map. There's just this one team in the tournament that does it better, and obviously, shocker, they're the ones they're going to be facing in the finals, but it's got to be frustrating for BetBoom when all of the stuff that you've done in every other game, more or less, that generally works, you're just not finding anything. This last game, you got 8 kills. In this game, you have 9. And every failed move you make is money down the drain, where Falcons is just being more efficient, farming around the map. So they keep building this lead. Falcons will try to contest this Roche Pit area. 30 seconds until
they scan.
The grand return.
No, BetBoom is here. They have a nice setup. This is where Techies gets really scary once he can have some time to set up these mines. Smoke now from BetBoom's side.
Falcon should be moments away from using one of them.
Not only Techies, the Elder Titan as well. Very scary to fight into. Actually moving around, they find Amar on the other side of the tree line. He's actually completely isolated from his team, trying to go for the backstab. Links to the Falcon shields for vision, but nobody's in the pit. Instead, he's going to get going on out. Blast off connects. Stormhammer as well as the ET ult comes out. Decimates him, but he actually buys back instantly as Malrine. A nice rolling thunder. Not being used to much effect as BetBoom now trying to run away. Toronto Toki in the pit gets denied by Roche. He's not happy that somebody's entered his pit. He buys back now as Malrine actually scouts him out on the backside. Miero very low already as the boat is stolen. Skeeter, you can see the BKB popped as the Doom applied to the Timbersaw. The Yules is actually going to cancel the TP. And it looks like he's going to get cleaned up eventually, so GPK does die. Now the chase is on, and they're going to be able to surround Nightfall. He goes down as the stolen boat overhead. Toronto Tokyo and company have to try to get out. Only 2 of them alive, just 2 supports for BetBoom. He's just going to get chased down by Amar, relentless on this Doom. 1 Centaur Stomp, more Infernal Blades, lots of high fives, and Toronto Tokyo eventually dies. And now the pit is all Falcons.
That's just Falcons 101. The way this entire fight starts,
that's a Jenkins joke, go ahead.
The way this fight starts, the Doom specifically is trying to backstab them. This is like it can't really go wrong for Amar, right? Either he gets tons of information and they commit key spells to killing him, he insta-buys back and TP's back, or he's going to find them and get the jump. So it's like, it's fail-safe. Because the Roche is bottom and they have that contact point, he's very confident to wrap around. And this entire fight is decided by what happens in the first 5 seconds. Doom forces out spells, buys back, and he pulls the fight down into the corner where Pango is insane there. You get Skiter, who gets to just flak the entire team, and Doom's death is completely irrelevant. He's just back after 5 seconds, getting the Doom on the Timber. It's just it's so easy and so hard at the same time. That's why it's so cool to watch, because when you see them do it, they make it look easy, but if you're in that position yourself, it's definitely not the most obvious way to play it. But I really love the way they're setting these things up.
Yeah, they had a huge team farm win.
Yeah. Nice.
Into the Tormy.
You waited 20 seconds for me to finish my...
You wouldn't stop talking, as always. Skeeter against the shard, surprisingly enough. Not exactly a core type shard, but he'll take it. As the lead now, 13K. BetBoom need to find a way back in this game. Because, I mean, it is a best of 5, so there's still plenty of games potentially, but down 0-2 is really tough.
Especially when Falcons are showing the edge of just grabbing first pick gyro, which is something you haven't had to play against at all for like the last 20 games.
Yeah.
When they do that in the second game and you're still struggling to solve it, it just means that they have a bigger toolbox. And Boom are running a lot of their same stuff, and the ideas just aren't really working. It's not coming together. Now Skiter is borderline unkillable.
He's huge.
He's got the Satanic and the Aegis, and we've seen how Bet Boom's fights work. It's pop BKBs, it's get in there and try to get the kills quickly. Once the BKBs fade, Pango's gonna pop off, Doom is gonna pop off. Alreen? Thought he had a read. Not gonna find anyone.
Oh, kill the wave, I am sure.
He has Arcane Rune, so this is a very minor commitment. The ult.
Kills some creeps right in front of Skiter. Skiter not happy with that.
Point out
Very angry.
Amar with the Ogre Seal Totem is still choosing to use Light Collector.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's been a while since you mentioned
He used it to great effectiveness in the last fight, the Seal Totem. But when nothing is happening, you just got to go fast. You know, he's probably going to swap it in here in the anticipation of a fight.
Yeah, Amar leading the way. Stormhammer onto Snake and gets deleted. Amar has to pop his BKB in retreat. Call down. That's kind of a zoning mechanism for the side of Falcons. Toronto, Tokyo taking so much damage as Skiter is just leading the way. They don't want to go on him, but look at the homing missile. The Sharda actually comes in handy. Amar gets off the Doom onto GPK, but he's all alone. This is a 4v1 scenario, and Falcons, will they actually connect? It doesn't look like it.
He'll live because of the Doom.
That should help.
And everybody's going to TP out for Bet Boom. Skiter, untouchable. And he's going to be going for the butterfly next.
Yeah. In anticipation, Bet Boom will prepare an MKB on their Sven, which never feels great, but you just got to do it here. Skiter is going to become way too big of a problem for them. He already is, but it can get worse than this.
That was close.
Fishing. Find anyone. Speaking of him, he's working on his next item as well. Octarine is very close, and then it's into the refresher.
Oh, Malrine. Oh, blinks away. Nice timing. Gets X, though. Has to roll up into his ult if he needs, and
We'll just go.
he will use it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Gonna try to hound Miero a bit. Uses the defusal. Gets a random bash on Techies. Just in a drive-by. As Skiter is in the base. Tier 3 tower looks to be his. The fortification will delay it.
35-second Aegis? Does he stay?
It's close, and the butterfly is really close as well. It's GPK again, the ADHD just taking over. Really wants to deny that tower, but probably not
The GPKD. Kicking in, getting impatient, wants something to happen, but every time Bet Boom tries, they've found a little bit here and there in the last few engages, like they burst the CM, but Falcons just don't give you collateral. They're not giving you a big enough win.
Hey, look at this. They're holding on to the Roshan's banner,
You just
Citrin.
can't stop talking about it, can you?
It's the first time I brought it up, as opposed to your 10 light collectors.
That was the joke. I thought it was a pretty good one. Light Collector on Doom.
Okay.
Ready?
Roche's banner ready to go for Snake King.
So how do you think he's going to use this? Are they waiting until they take their first lane, or is he going to incorporate it as part of the next Roche Aegis push?
I think he's trying to combine the banners. He saw how effective that was for gaming gladiators.
This is really big, actually, getting this rune right now on Skiter.
Yeah.
Gyro, probably one of the best carries to get this new double damage on.
Yeah,
You have so
getting both.
much magic damage.
It's true. Oh, he is
I mean,
enormous.
he's going to pop this and swap in his BKB and just absolutely go to town. They're actually going to high ground because of this, I think.
Yeah, you
Doesn't
don't need the Aegis. Jinx. You can't say Light Collector ever again.
Radiant's top tower is
That's
under
not
attack.
how that works.
Yep.
Dire are scanning.
Fuck.
They are smoked. They're smoked up. As they will approach for this tower kill.
Well, he
And
pops
that,
the rune and chills.
Oh, yeah, he did pop it. Okay. Just
All right,
needs,
here we go. Advancing.
Dire's bottom
All right,
tower
one
is under
casual
attack.
right click. Tower is dead. Mine's being placed, so Falcons, if they try to dive, they could get punished. But Malrine, okay, Save actually goes in for the initiation, gets bashed up by Malrine. Very unlucky for him. And now GPK all alone. No one wants to join him. He gets doomed and destroyed. Skiter still applying a lot of pressure to these barracks. Well, the tidal wave brings it back in. Pops the BKB to avoid the Stormhammer. Now the call down is there. They have the bastions as well. And the Nightfall is only at half HP. Applying some pressure. It looks like that will be the death of Amar at the very least. And now Skiter and company on the run. Nightfall want to find a connection. Will do so on Skiter. The Satanic is not going to help him here. Even the freezing field being expended, but it's not enough. So Falcons completely punished as Betboom will get another kill onto crit. A nice X from Miero. And tidal wave brings him to his knees. That required 2 buybacks from Betboom, but still a really good hold.
That's a great result for them, and it makes the world of difference that Amar just gets burst like this. So they're using the Doom in the initial engagement and his BKB. So Amar's fight is over now. Like, he should actually just not be coming back in, I think, at this point, but he will go for the reinitiation here after Skiter gets open upon, and that punish is instant from Miero. He identifies immediately, okay, I can X the Doom here, and we just blast him with buybacks. And Skiter, having used the BKB in the initial fight there, won't have it to disengage with, and they will turn and kill him off. Satanic was 1 second from being ready. Could have perhaps stood his ground a little bit, but I don't think he has a chance of surviving that.
I doubt it. All right, so Betboom, I mean, it's still a 10K lead, but that definitely opens the door.
That is the face of somebody who learned never go high ground.
Yep, this patch is something else, I'll tell you what. Miero picks up the Octarine. Roche is 30 seconds away, which is good news for Falcons.
It is really rare in this tournament that we see a team try to high ground without an Aegis.
Yes.
So
they felt that strong.
They got tempted because of the rune. There is no way they go for that high ground siege without that rune on Skiter. But he felt like, I can do this, I'm invincible. But, you know, the rune is timed. You don't have it the whole time. Betboom waited out, and they follow up and clean house with some nice buybacks. So it's not like it came for free, and Falcons are still in a great position. But they were doing better before that push, that's for sure. They were up like 16,000. Now it's down to 11, turned to 13 with the Tormentor kill. Amar will get the shard. Satanic on the way for Nightfall, only a few hundred away from that one.
What do you think of the Doom Shard? That's the healing on Scorched Earth. The old one was really good. The Infernal Blade extra stun was very strong.
Yeah, it was crazy good. I think this one it's okay sometimes. I think it's very specific.
It sounds underwhelming, and it's hard to notice, obviously, in these big team fights, but
this is very big for Betboom to get this for free.
Absolutely.
How come Falcons aren't contesting this, actually? They have the buyback advantage. It's on the Radiant side, and they had all their spells ready. Huh. That's peculiar. That's actually a really big moment here for Betboom to just get that freely, because if they contest that fight and Falcons do and like tie it, they probably get racks, right? Because they just have an advantage from the previous fight having the buybacks that it did expended by Betboom. And now you buy a lot of time, stabilize the game.
Did they use the?
They used the banner top.
God.
They used it outside of the base though.
I don't care.
Okay.
Techies' mind set up.
Very sorry for bringing it up, Shannon.
Falcons are so angry.
Okay.
Onto the high ground pushing
It's Aegis.
Well, the God strength is down, so Betboom.
They're trying to pull one on them. They might actually just get this lane.
Yeah, I think they will. Fortification is popped though. Tidal wave brings Skiter a little bit farther back as Mallory finds the connection onto GPK. This is the Aegis target though. As you can see, the Ag still doing some work as Amar pops the BKB, gets the Doom off.
It's on the Kunkka,
He's just going to run away though. Looks like he's A-okay. And now Amar might get punished as the Stormhammer will come for him. They're actually going to try to fight this out, it looks like, as Mallory gets off the second ult now. That's the Aegis down. Nightfall waited long enough that his God Strength is up. He's going to get telekinesis though. He's going to go for the killing blow onto the roof, and he gets it. Double kill for Nightfall. But Skiter is just doing so much damage. Holy shit. That is a dead Sven for 90 seconds since now Skiter should be able to finish his strikes, although that is backdoor protection. Ultra kill from Malrine. He's the one actually netting himself the kills. As GPK is going to get stunned up. The shield crashes. Zale Swatch is actually going to miss because of the Yules. There's another bash to come out. That's going to be the center racks now in favor of Falcons. Malrine wants this rampage. Is he going to get it? Echo Stop is going to be missed. He's going to use roll up to get the basher up again. Swatch again. It's not the rampage. It should have been a double though. He got it.
is so greedy.
Greedy boy!
He wanted the ET kill as well. He actually had the clean Timber kill and a full-on disengage. And he got bloodthirsty.
His team's like, you idiot.
That is... And he's got to buy back.
Oh my, really?
His team is laughing at him.
Wow.
They're like, Malrine, what are you doing diving in the fountain? He's
Well,
like, fuck you guys, I'm going back in.
They don't have buybacks on Betboom. I don't know if they know this, but this will not be punished, it looks like. This should be 2 sets at the very least.
Middle tower has fallen.
I mean, I don't know how much Mallory's helping with the push.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he offers some protection for Skiter in case of buybacks from the enemy team.
And Lamar shadowing them right now as well. X onto Skiter. To the Torrent, into the boat as well. BKB is now up in the Satanic as well as Mallory gets a nice stun connection onto Miero, but just buying some time. Sven's up in 8 seconds. Does Skiter actually want to continue here? They're going to get the tower pretty easily. They're going to try to go for the Megas here. They know that Timbersaw, if you would have bought back by now if he had it. 50 seconds of no GPK. 5 versus 4. Blast off hits. The Gyro already at half HP. Stormhammer coming in. Very long distance. Nightfall. He gets the kill onto the Gyro, who buys back instantly. That's the AoE doom from Amar. It's not going to matter. He dies. Torrent Storm to follow to delay this. That's a buyback, like you said, onto the Gyrocopter. They want to finish this. They want to get the Mega Creeps now. Torrent Storm comes out. Tidal Wave as well. And Skiter will get the range. Nightfall, he's going to have to fight. They want to save these racks, but Malrine goes in really deep with the Rolling Thunder, and that will secure the Mega Creeps for Falcons. And the connection again onto this Kunkka, 12 seconds away from GPK. I believe they're going to try to run away, but Skiter might have to just BKB TP. Doesn't have the TP though, so we'll just run. As Falcons at a major advantage now.
Yeah, they outlast.
Can do from here.
They outlast all of Sven's stuff.
What is this Midas?
Wait.
Why? Doom bought a Midas. Why?
35 minutes lower than average.
Oh my god. What the f... I'm watching. And I'm pretty sure he had buyback. So he bought a Midas and now does not have buyback.
It's turning into a pub game. He saw Marine's buyback. He's like, okay, dude, you're going to buy back? I'll buy Midas. Watch me. I'll break my items. I'll run down mid and break my items.
Yeah, well, let's... I mean, this is throwable, funny. I will say.
Yeah, they could... I mean... It's the only way they really lose this is if Gyro gets caught. I think Skiter can play this very safe. He's more or less maxed out. They have a major advantage.
Though, right? So.
Yeah, that's why. So he needs to just be careful not to get caught. We've seen how Falcons can win fights on offense. Imagine their lineup in their own base. Like, it's so difficult for Betboom to pierce this defense. So.
That's an Eon disc down for a bit for Malrine. Yeah,
it was a nice fight from Betboom, to be honest. They isolated and killed the Gyro early before he got BKB or Satanic off. He just had the buyback and the ability to connect back with his team. Gotta say, no, this is not particularly relevant right now. It's just been noticing when Snaking gets this shard on Maiden, you find so much farm with this.
Yeah.
You just go into the jungle, you pay 50 mana to kill a camp. This Frostbite obviously lasts really long on the creeps. This spell is way better than Frostbite, and it costs a third of it. It's quite funny.
That's true.
You're obviously paying a lot of gold for it, but you get it for free. Oh, the attack speed, Shannon. You love it.
Did he actually go for it?
It's popping off.
So why are you buying Glitter Cave? Get a Daedalus. Do something cool.
Getting the attack speed talent so that he can give Timber max stacks as fast as possible.
All right.
Really good win rate.
1%. That is shocking.
88% win rate. Stats don't lie, Shannon. You use this to destroy Techies' mines.
Okay, sure.
And to farm. To deal extra damage. To look cool. To get street cred worth way more than winning the tournament.
How many of the... I mean, that's from pro matches, isn't it? Is it just pro matches?
Yes.
That 39%, that's really high. I like to see it, though. The greed.
Look at it.
Oh, yeah. Pew, pew. Imagine a Maelstrom, though.
Yeah.
The Glimmer's not really going to help him. Such a novelty. I love it.
It's a real morale booster. You feel so strong.
That's true. We have the Boots of Bearing as well. All right, the smoke from Bedboom, they pushed out their lanes a decent amount. I mean, the top lane is coming in, though. Mar. Not be their target. I feel like, yeah, they're just going for like a blind initiation, just hoping someone is on the path. Crit might be the one. Smoke breaks. Crit is spotted. Next up. And eventually dead. They even used the Torrent Storm just in case there's anybody else nearby. That's all they get, though. Oh, that was the Torrent Storm
Rubik's
from
own.
Rubik.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a good steal. So 13k lead for Falcons, but that doesn't really tell the story. It's not that massive. More so the mega creeps on their side, which, I mean, should secure this next Roach, which spawns in, it's a late one, 2 minutes. And from, I mean, do you think Bedboom needs to try to, I mean, tell me what they do. Give me a plan of action.
Well, I would have said the plan of action should be to try to find and blast the gyro, but that kind of feels like what they just did, but ran into the Rubik. They obviously understand that if they can kill Skiter within the next 2 minutes and not have buyback on him, they could open up for a counter Raxing, but at this point it's starting to look really unlikely they get him in time, because they have to handle the base a lot. Falcons have had good hero placements around the map. So let's say it comes down to the next Roche. I think you have to fight for it. I don't think you can give up that to Falcons and let them go in with a Gyro Aegis and start hitting your tier 4s. I think that's just too difficult. So gotta be kind of some sort of an all-in. It's good news for Toronto Tokyo that he does have the cleave. That
How is he 23?
definitely helps with this problem. This hero actually pushes waves very well. The 100% cleave talent. Imagine that on some other heroes in Dota. That would be quite something.
Yeah. Does Wraith King still have his?
That's a good question. I actually don't remember.
I was shocked that we've had 5 games of Wraith King in this tournament.
Yeah, it was 5 games by Falcons.
Yeah,
I don't know if they were the only ones to play it. There's 35% cleave on level 20. Elder Titan has 100%.
Yeah, quite the difference.
Yeah, Crystal Maiden has 225 attack speed. Now imagine getting that on Sven as a talent. That would be... Yeah, the game is, you know, balanced around different things. There was a theory that Crystal Maiden Core was going to become a thing because of his talent. It never really caught on. So I think we need to buff it to 350 attack speed.
Yeah. I mean, there's a point where it becomes good, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, the Techies, does he still have the damage? I think it's 251, I want to say, at 25.
252. They buffed it by 1.
That's right. Forgot about that.
The dumbest change of all time. What?
Have you seen the late game Techies, though, that right clicks?
No, it's one thing to right click, but buffing it from 251 to 252 is obviously just a joke and completely irrelevant. It's because people love to meme on Valve with the -1 armor. It's one of the classic memes, but that is infinitely more impactful than getting 1 damage on Techies. The 1 armor changes are actually very massive. People love to joke about it, but it pushes win rates by 1 to 2% a lot of the time for a hero to lose 1 armor.
Well, we got Roche. Big time for Falcons.
So here we go. How on earth are Bedboom going to handle this fight?
That is a good question.
The problem you face is you have to pop everything to kill Gyro the first time, and you have to go on him or your base is gone. So you're gonna pop your stuff, you're gonna jump the Gyro with your Sven and his BKB and everything.
Why did I see AoE Doom before? He doesn't have Ags. Was that a reflection from Lotus?
Yeah, he doomed the Sven, and Sven had Lotus, and Sven had Ags.
That's so funny.
So...
Alright.
Yeah, it was a bit of a confusing situation, but
Arrow.
doesn't matter.
Arrow's going to be spotted. Amar. Malrine going in with Rolling Thunder, finds the connection. And more importantly, the banner is placed high ground. Trying to defend here. The Lotus applied, but the Doom is already used on Miero. Infernal Blade to follow. He's dead. Does have buyback, though. Malrine, that's ult number 1, trying to get rid of some of these mines.
This is an offensive banner, Shannon. It's Radiant.
That's a Radiant banner?
It's a Radiant banner.
Really?
Yep.
Damn.
It's got a red.
It's dying to the creeps. You must protect the banner, for God's sake. Why did you put it there then? Why? Good Lord.
It had a green health bar.
Just put it down under the stairs then. God.
I think maybe if you place it a little bit, maybe it was close enough to hit both lanes. Can you hit both mid and bottom if you place in the enemy base when they like converge? I think maybe.
The AoE is quite small.
Yeah, maybe not.
That will get buffed.
Maybe they were placing it as a distraction, but they didn't communicate within the team that they haven't. Oh, that's
the other banner.
Bed Booms.
Yeah.
I thought they had another try.
Yeah, this is when the banner is actually useless. When
Yeah.
you down megas and you don't have a single barracks to your name.
All right, here we go again. Malrain with another roll.
Malrain finds Nightfall, roll up into the perma-stun. Skiter doing a decent amount of damage. Homing missiles coming from right here. Spawn the BKB, trying to find on the pressure, now into the gyro. Telekinesis smoke. The Aegis goes down. The burst was enough. That's life number 1 is Malrain trying to create some space again. In that roll-up, second rolling thunder as well.
He does have refresh on Sven. That was a key timing to get this just before this attack. If they would have hit the base 1 minute earlier, Nightfall would have not had this item. He just got it, I believe. Or maybe his courier was... He has a lot of gold. Wait, a moment ago he had it in his quick buy.
What is up
What
with
did he
these?
sell? He didn't sell anything. I actually don't understand how he got this much gold. I must have missed something. Oh well. Well, they hold.
It's probably the light collector that got it for him.
Oh, that makes sense.
So yeah, they hold. And what is up with this tournament? Mega Creep suddenly, the team that's down, takes fights and owns.
Well, there is an inherent, pretty major advantage to being in your base, and that's usually where fights happen when you have megas. So fighting around your tier 4s. It's also a special case because you have Techies. It makes it even easier.
Save.
Covering the perimeter.
It's too bad they don't have anything to heal that tower. Brand Protector would be really useful right now.
Oh yeah, give me that repair kit back, baby. Everybody loved that stuff. The best tier 3 item of all time.
Or Lich 25 talent.
Yeah. Do you think,
Heal.
was that the least controversial neutral item removal ever? I think nobody liked repair kit. Everybody thought it was
I'm sure there's somebody out there. You know, there's some sick people in the audience.
in the audience.
Okay, so Falcons, do they are they waiting for the next Roche?
Time to farm.
Because that's going to be tier 5 time at that point.
Yeah.
And are there some tier 5 items that make a huge difference one way or the other?
Well, we did say at least one of the games in this finals would go over 60. I feel like this one is pretty much a done deal now.
Say that. I think you just cursed the game, Cinderin.
Well, or I blessed it, depending on your perspective.
That banner is still rotting away in Toronto, Tokyo's inventory.
He'll use it when he gets racks in 50 minutes.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Maybe not.
Yeah, crit. Telekinesis, offensive usage. Is Mallory coming with the Rolling Thunder? Toronto, Tokyo stunned as well. Save, gets off the blast off. Does end up falling, though. The gem drops to the deck as well. It's Toronto, Tokyo, not going to get bashed. Mallory hits a wall, but blinks. Still finds Toronto, Tokyo. Swatch is actually not going to hit him. Shield crash is there. As the rest of Bedlam now on the run, but on the footsteps of their base is Mallory, the second Rolling Thunder. They take out both supports, they buy back instantly. Nightfall with the God Strength, trying to get something out of this. They're just kiting him right now as the Doom comes out onto Nightfall, has to run away in shame, gets 4-staff for the time being as Mallory continuing to just be a nuisance. So they force the 2 buybacks out from the supports of Bedboom. I think now they have to just wait for these refreshers again.
Yeah.
Malrine is doing so much work. As he didn't even have Ags in his... Wait, he just put it in his backpack now. Okay,
Yeah, he used a gem here. Yeah, that was a huge, huge win for Falcons in this situation. Having these heroes without buybacks, it's 2 very vulnerable supports now that if you catch either of them, you give yourself a very meaningful advantage going into the fight. Like killing someone like ET is huge in the late game, so can very clearly try to target them now. And well, Bedboom aren't going to wait around.
Indeed, Malrine is their target. He gets a roll up, and Yandis actually procs as well. Crit. He will likely be the one to fall to Malrine. The Doom was back up as more against the Doom. On to Nightfall. He's dead. Buyback still available, and actually did not use his ult at all. And Toronto Toki's getting next level. It's a triple kill for Amar. They're getting everything that they want, and that's 2 diebacks on both supports of Bedboom. Now the rest of the cores will have to fall back to base. They have the buyback on Miero, so it's going to end up being a 3 versus 5. As Miero doing some stretches.
That's Malrine.
What did I say?
Miero.
Malrine, yep.
He's playing for...
Thank you very much. All right. 5 versus 3. Miero's courier gets killed, so no double torrent storm. That's a pretty big deal as Skeeter now applying all his pressure to this tier 4 tower. Stormhammer is in. God Strength activated for Nightfall. Just getting kited again as Malrine with another ult. It feels like he always has this thing up. As GPK tries to use the Yules to get out of dodge, but the Ancient is just fully exposed as Skeeters just can continue to right-click and stand his ground. They take out GPK. He buys back in the game as the tidal wave, trying to bring Amar back into the fountain, but the Ancient is what is really the issue here. As Skeeter will pop the BKB, but the fortification actually comes out for Bedboom. Do they have the damage from Skeeter and company? Malrine will continue to get the stuns onto GPK, and this Ancient looks like it's finally going to go down in favor of Falcons as they take game 2, 11 seconds before those tier 5 items.
Yeah, you're welcome for the blessing.